difficult, isn't it, when you're a showbiz lovey, or so that's the rumour, when you then decide to branch out, do other things, of course, become president of societies, that sort of stuff. People always want to attack you in one way or another. But in this particular instance, the celebrated actor Stephen Fry possibly had no idea what he was unleashing when he decided to become the president of the MCC club. That is, of course, the Marylebone Cricket Club here in London. Seemingly, though, things are not going to plan. Now, Stephen already hasn't exactly taken over the reins yet. He starts in a couple of days' time, but things seem to be taking a turn for the worst. That's because in his recent lecture, that didn't go down particularly well with many of the members. But now, things are taking an even bigger turn for the worst, and here's how. His nomination was actually announced way back in May, and he takes over from the current president, Claire Connor, at Lords, and Fry will take up the post, as I say, on October the 1st this year. Now, Stephen's a lifelong cricket supporter, a patron of the MCC Foundation, and recently delivered the MCC Cowdrey Lecture last year. Apparently, he said to be gifted this opportunity to perform this role is truly humbling. He said of his appointment, "I'm honoured and proud to be nominated as the next president of MCC. It's a club that's known throughout the world for what it represents in the game, and to be gifted this wonderful opportunity to perform is truly humbling." There's a backlash already for Mr. Fry. That's because many people think he's a little bit too wokey as its president. Now, apparently he led the campaign to dump the Eton versus Harrow 1805 and the Varsity Game 1827 and replace them with a dull school event. Now the MCC have pulled the plan after a mass revolt by its members, with many people claiming it's time to go, Fry. We often say here on the show, it's strange, isn't it, because as an actor, he's, well, undoubtedly one of the greatest actors we've had in many a year. Many people comparing him, of course, to the late and wonderful Oscar Wilde, a role in which he's played numerous times, and also latterly to the wonderful Sir Noel Coward. But it seems that when you branch out as an actor, particularly when you have your, woke views aired on social media and in national newspapers, then whatever you do next, make sure you don't take them to that particular organisation. Seemingly, though, it seems that Stephen could be bowled out of his new role before it's even got started. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. In other news that's breaking out of London here, it's interesting to note, isn't it, when you look at Hollywood stars, there becomes a period where they're the superstar league and everybody loves them, their films instantly hit #1 at the box office, and then they decide to digress, go into other areas. You know what I'm talking about. So this brand new, well, shall we say, direction is rather strange for someone that I've interviewed on a number of occasions. We're talking about the Hollywood superstar actor Brad Pitt. That's right, many people are saying that he's hit the male menopause, a little bit cruel to say the least, but now he's decided to launch his own skincare range. That's right, girls, his own skincare range, with some of them retailing at around about £385, but that's because they're in authentic wooden pots. I know I'm giggling when I'm saying this already, but he doesn't stop there. Brad's also decided that he wants to become a sculptor. Nothing wrong in that, branching out, and apparently has already had an exhibition. Now, many people are saying he's just discovering brand new talents and moving his life forward. That's true. While many others are saying, of course, the divorce of his former wife and superstar actress Angelina Jolie is costing more than apparently he first ever thought. Now, when you look back, it might have been wiser if Brad had stuck with the Friends star Jennifer Aniston. And in other news, it's interesting to note in the retail world that once again going woke means you simply go broke. Now, it's been announced that sadly for the major retail chain John Lewis and Waitrose food stores, they've made a colossal, well, lack of profit. But what is more, I find intriguing, is the fact that the CEO, Sharon White, really stands by everything that she's doing. They often do, don't they, when it goes wrong? Have you noticed? But one of the biggest factors that a lot of people decided to abandon the store with wasn't their sky-high prices, or indeed the lack of knowledgeable staff, which is now replaced with people that have no idea but are very keen to push you out the way to make sure they can reduce many items, or indeed carry on stacking shelves, rather, of course, than the pesky customer who's in the way when they're trying to do this and talk, of course, on their iPhones. Just my experience. But the biggest problem, though, for John Lewis was this. They decided to get rid of their slogan, never knowingly undersold. And that saw lots of people removing themselves away from buying on a regular basis in the store. It was a hit slogan that a lot of people stood by. But once again, you see, a brand new face with a brand new woke agenda means that, well, people decide with their wallets, and more people are now taking the exit door out of John Lewis and Waitrose than ever before. If you don't believe me, just check the profits. You're up to date with the news roundup here live from London. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.